You've got the Bible.
Listen, I knew look, chat, listen, I knew where he was going. I didn't want to say it. I didn't. I knew it. I knew it.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Look at you. Uncultured. Unsophisticated.
Ooh. Me?
Middle class.
Hey, that's facts, though.
No, don't speak. You'll just make me throw up. I'd say cover up with this dinner jacket, but I'm afraid that you'd get your head stuck in the sleeve and asphyxiate.
Help, I'm stuck.
Listen, lowball. Don't you want to be refined? Don't you want to be
A little
fancy,
bit.
like moi? That's French. I don't expect you to know what it means. But I have some good news. Before this financial year ends, I have decided to make a charitable deduction.
Okay.
It's you, champ. For
XR was good.
You can have premarital sex.
There's virus. I have made several
That's a virus. That's cap. That's cap right there, buddy. You've been caught.
videos, though, which will show you how to bluff your way to the inner circles. Undetected. Yes. By the time the elites find out,
Neon Genesis Evangelion is psychological and intense.
it will be too late. I get you in, you eat all the hors d'oeuvres, and we get out. That's the plan. And let's begin your instruction with theater.
Okay.
The YouTube premium of upper society.
True.
And the first section,
Hey, that boy's speaking right now.
Symphony. The first period of performance, that's called
That's a good one. I gotta eat a whole pack of Popeye's biscuits with no water. That's a good one. That's a good one. We might do that.
Baroque, from 1600 to 1750. This featured Bach and Vivaldi. Now, there was also a guy named Giuseppe Tartini, and he was the best one of them all, because one evening he had a dream where the devil showed up and presented him with a deal. The devil would become his teacher and impart on him everything he knew about music.
Okay.
Yes. Once Tartini had learnt everything he could, he handed over his violin and asked the devil to play. The devil played the greatest musical piece that Tartini had ever.
Yo, Buddy was on shrooms. Let's chop it up to what it actually is, okay? Cause ain't no way the devil came and sat on your lap like that.
Heard. Tartini woke up with a gasp, and he tried to recreate what he had heard in the dream. And what he wrote down was his most famous piece, the best thing he had ever written. And he said, "This is shite compared to the original. This is nothing better than a tribute." And that's where you get the Tenacious D song from.
Bro, I reacted to this song. Hey man, if y'all don't know me from the music reaction days, y'all better go do your homework, big dog.
He named this piece The Devil's Trill, and he claimed that the difference between his version and the version in the dream was so great that he would have smashed his violin and quit music forever had he not needed it for his job. Classical, 1750 to 1830. Mozart and Beethoven show up like da-da-da-da. Now, Beethoven was famously known for going deaf. Once that happened, everyone told him that he should just quit music forever. But he just wouldn't hear it. Anyway, there's so much I could say about these two. Romantic era. Now that's when everybody started kissing, and it's my favorite. Great piece. Mwah. Oh, you played wonderfully too. Mwah. We also enjoyed listening. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. All you need to know about this one is Chopin and Berlioz. Berlioz, however, was not getting any kisses. He was relatably, painfully single, living alone in Paris. The city of love.
That's crazy. Being alone.
So here's how it started. He's there
with
and
all
he's
the,
in his.
bro, listen. February 14th is on his way. It's cuffing season. You better get on your grind, all right? Because Instagram about to be crazy. TikTok? Oh, you're done. Don't be him.
Early 20s. And he is looking for a new GF. So one day, he attends a Shakespearean play. And on stage, he spots an actress.
Harry.
And he immediately falls in love with her. He wrote her many notes, confessing his love. But her DMs went unreplied. So he began writing a symphony about her. How can she ignore this?
You seen a
And
Ouija
also
board
around
in
this time
somebody's
he
house?
started
I would've
smoking a
left
lot of
too.
opium, but don't worry about that. Anyway, so he wrote this piece just for her. However, his DMs still went unreplied. For several months he started to get quite disheartened. Until he saw another girl.
Mayo was good.
So he immediately fell in love with her instead, and he said, you know what? I'm going to change that symphony I wrote, so now it's about this other lady, and not about that ugly one that I didn't like anyway. This time, happily, she reciprocated, and they fell in love and were set to marry.
Okay.
Suddenly, what the fuck? Phones haven't been invented yet. Yes, hello.
And then the other girl spun the block, bro. Come on now.
Hello, I'm busy. Oh, Rome? To study? Absolutely. I'll catch the first flight out. So Berlioz went to Rome to study music. However, while he was away, he got some news.
Berlioz. I have to tell you
I'm
something.
pregnant.
Sacre bleu. Some other, more handsome musician swooped in and married his girl while he was in Rome, and they ran
you're
away
done.
together. Berlioz was furious, and he set his mind to solving the problem. I know what I'm going to do.
Write the
I'm
symphony
gonna
about...
murder her and her lover.
Bro, don't ever be this guy in real life, all right? If you lose your girl, chalk it up to the game. You know what I'm saying? Get back on the court, try again, okay? Don't be out here up in Blix because you got your heart broken. It's never the answer.
And her mom.
And her mom?
Her and her lover. And her mom. And then I'm gonna do a self-murder.
Okay, never mind. I'm not getting kicked off of YouTube for what I'm about to say, so I'm gonna just keep watching.
All right, so this gets...
But if you know, you know what I'm about to say, okay? Just think. There's alternate solutions. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty elaborate. His idea is to dress up as a housemaid. He has bought both poison and 2 guns. Now, he is going to sneak into the house of his ex-fiancée, and there she and her mother will be sipping tea, which he has already poisoned. Then he will pull off the clothing and reveal himself. Blam, blam, sad overture. So, he heads back home to Paris to do it. But while on his travels there, takes quite a while, he has to change carriages. And when he does that,
he forgets the
leaves
poison.
the guns in one of the little
You're
cubbies.
done.
So he's lost all his weapons. What is he going to do now?
That's the whole reason for the trip. You
Well,
can't
his
forget
next
that.
leg on the stop is Genoa, and he decides, you know what? Let's just skip the murder and go straight to the finale. So he stops off in the port city of Genoa, and he's there at the side of the Mediterranean. He pauses for a moment, then he throws himself in. Now, some people see this whole thing happen, and they think he's had an accident, so they run in to try to save him. They pull him to the shore.
That's crazy.
He lived. So he has now reached his lowest point.
Yo, that boy is mad.
He dejectedly continues home. He gets back to Paris,
Emmanuel was
and he
good.
wallows around, feeling pretty sorry for himself. But he decides, you know what? I may as well do what I do best in times of trouble. Smoke a lot of opium. And while I do that, I shall
You
write
about to get a
symphony.
visit from the devil again.
Although I ain't gonna name it after that hoe who stole my heart. And so he went back to work. But here's the thing. It was the greatest piece he had ever written. And it premiered to a huge crowd. And you know what? It was a smash hit. #1 on iTunes.
See, chat, that's why you never give up, all right? You might fumble some bags along the way, but you keep going, all right?
But then, and here's
Because guess what? My man about to be on the stage doing one of these, and now everybody go, oh my God, it was Giuseppe, I want you. Then he's primed for picking.
a bloody plot twist. Remember the first girl?
She
Well,
wanted
she
him.
attended that
Come on, man, I
concert,
told
and
you.
she realized that Berlioz was a genius. And then she wrote a letter to your boy saying how good you bloody Symphony was, and sorry about not replying, I just put my phone down.
Nah, see, that's cap. See, if it's a girl like that, chat, you gotta throw her to the side. Because if she acknowledges, she sent your messages, but chose not to respond, then you big dog, and now she decides to respond. You know she only there for one thing, the clout. Get her out of there. She didn't believe in you. That's tough.
And got super busy or whatever.
Tatiana was good.
By the way, I love you. And
No, you didn't love me when I wrote you 8 letters and a symphony about you. You didn't love me. Now I'm the man and you love me. Get out of here. You're done.
so Berlioz goes, well, I love you too. And a year later, they were married.
Dog.
It's a beautiful moral of the story. See, fellas, don't jump in the Mediterranean. Anyway, a few years later they got divorced because weirdly he cheated on his wife with the housemaid. Not that one, a different one. But then
That's
he
crazy.
married that housemaid. Hooray. But then when he died later on, for some reason he gets buried with both of them. It's kind of strange.
That's crazy.
But moving on to the impressionist musicians. Now that's Claude de what now?
The Bussy. Yo, where is the Bussy? That is a crazy last name. Hey, yo.
Claude de what? You know what? You'd better go to ad time. All right, guys, welcome back to the Nord Stream. Today we're playing Assassin's Creed 3. Chat, come on, chat. Hey, everyone's spamming Nord in the chat.
You still 2-year plan? I might need NordVPN. I'm on Norton right now. You know what I'm saying? I might need NordVPN.
Whoa, new follower. Hey, welcome to the Dream Team Sub Cream. Thank you so much. It's great to see. Oh,
What?
Unfollowed. Sorry, guys. The cleaners are here. Sorry, just ignore the mess. I haven't cleaned up these bottles yet. No, it's just tea. It's just tea.
Emmanuel was good.
I stream for 10 hours a day, and it's like the
grinder.
algorithm is against me or something. How come everyone is watching Asmon's stream, and I'm not getting any new followers?
they had Kai
I'm
7
playing
days up
the
there.
games. What more do you want me to do? Just a quick word from the sponsor. NordVPN is the VPN that you can trust. So go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian for a huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 bonus months for
Hold up. NordVPN is only an internet browsing thing. Does it give you like protection for your computer? Because I might have to, hey, Nord, go ahead, send the promo through.
free plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. My God. Today we are going to be watching the new Snow White movie. I love the intro. Oh, I love seeing that Disney logo. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Guys, I'm just gonna get up and get some food. I'll be back in a minute.
That facts. You're done.
What the f***? Who reported my stream? Hello, my Nordlings. Welcome back to the stream. Can we get some ends in the chat, guys? No, not like that.
Yo, what are the stars in? Oh, okay. So I'm counting, all right? That is clearly the hard ER with the S. There's multiple on that first in star. Whoever that is, Jeff Killer 01, you're done, all right?
Mods! Welcome back to the ASMR stream for NordVPN. Today I'm going to be drinking a can of Coke while I say the word Nord.
Yo, chat, maybe we should play Don't Scream, the ASMR version. 'Cause I think you can't scream when you play the game, but I wonder if I can still talk to y'all like, yo, guess what? You know what I'm saying? You might have to do that.
Nord. Hey, thank you for the tier 3 sub. With NordVPN, I can be outside my house, Jack's Film's house, Samito's house, Ordinary Things' house. Just like that. Welcome back to the hot tub stream. What do you guys mean? How many hot dogs can I put in my mouth? Why? I'll just... Oh my God, $5,000 donation.
True!
Thank you so much. You guys are such good friends. Streaming's not for me. I'd rather go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan, plus 4 months for free. Ad over. Watching Netflix, are you? All tucked in with a 3-hour essay on Good Game Good, and here's why.
Fallout New Vegas is actually the only based Bethesda game.
Turn that off. I've got something for you much less enjoyable and far more expensive. We're going to the theater.
Okay.
Theater, from the ancient Greek theatron, the most dramatic of the Transformers. It means a place for viewing.
Okay.
Here's a Roman theater. They were quite simple back then. You have the stage, the auditorium, and the vomitorium. Now, for a very long time, people thought that the vomitorium was a place where the Romans would gorge themselves, where they would eat so much that they would throw up and then gorge themselves.
So that was like the concession stand. Okay.
Again, because they were so decadent and or bulimic. But it comes from the word vomir, which means to spew forth, because that's where people go in and out. So vomitorium is just a dramatic way of saying the entrance.
Okay.
Now, if you skip forward to the 1800s, things are getting a lot more modernized, but they still didn't have electric. So they had what's called the limelight. And that's why they say to be in the limelight, to be the
internet historian putting us on game. We learned
star of the show. What they would do was take a piece of quicklime and heat it up super hot, which will naturally glow very bright. They would then take reflective mirrors and lenses to focus the beam, and they would use that as an early form of the spotlight. The limelight is not because it's green, but because it's made from quicklime. In the modern day, things are a lot more advanced, and they can do all sorts of cool shit with like lasers going into your eyeballs and all sorts of stuff. But it's not just the tech that's happening.
Yo, that is a goated series right there, okay? Netflix, I don't know why y'all didn't renew Resident Evil, because that joint looked like a banger, okay? But that look, I know people don't like the movies, but they're fire. Deal with it.
An upgrade. It's the architecture as well. In Elizabethan times, they had the yard, and you could get in here for about a penny apiece. And this is where all the poor people stood to watch the shows. It's like when you go to Oppenheimer and you end up with the worst seats in the IMAX theater, right? But thankfully, in modern times, we have fixed that problem. We kicked out all the poor people and we sunk the floor down low and put in an orchestra pit. Now, these things are usually 6 to 12 feet deep, so they're not obstructing the audience's view. But having a giant hole at the end of a stage is quite dangerous. So usually they put a big net there as well. And yet, a lot of people still get pitted. Like a lot of people. In 2011, during a production of The Sound of Music, one of the lead actresses fell into the orchestra pit and was left paralyzed from the waist down. In 2009, a conductor, not a superconductor, just a regular one, fell 14 feet into the dark pit and broke 9 vertebrae and 1 ankle. Mamma mia.
Did he recover?
And he fell on his pointy conducting thing. At the Bolshoi Theater, a violinist died from his injuries after falling into
falling off the stage while playing the violin. Look, they're taking Soul Calibur ring outs to a whole nother level, okay? Raphael, you're done.
This theater is prone to all sorts of accidents, by the way. It's kind of cursed. But performers and musicians aren't the only ones falling into the pit. In 1988, an 82-year-old man fell from his balcony box seating all the way down into the pit during a performance of Macbeth. He died. Very spooky. Even already dead people are getting pitted. In 2016, a man sprinkled his friend's ashes into the orchestra pit at the Met Theatre.
Why would he do
This
that?
happened during the intermission, and it was a sort of tribute to a mentor of his. But of course, people went, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." And he flees the scene.
And falls.
Everyone's coughing and sneezing up dead guy. And people think, is this anthrax? What is this? So they call in the anti-terrorism police, and the whole show is cancelled for the rest of the evening.
Roger Kaiser is the name of him. That's crazy.
A quick intermission.
Send me the beat. Send me the beat.
Or is it? Ooh, fiddle-tee-dee, I am the trap master. Not like that. Do not ask me to reveal my secrets, woman. I have dedicated my life to the mysteries of the theater. Ah, the theater. She has so many enigmatic traps. Let us start with the most simple yet devious, the wall trap. It allows the actor to walk directly into the set piece. Ah, where did he go? Nobody knows. Cast your eyes over here to the genie trap. Now the victim stands on this dumbwaiter, and a counterweight launches their hapless body up onto the stage. Wheesh! In the olden days, this circle of flaps would sometimes go on top, and then that would make the whole thing just one way. Now, back when they made this thing, they didn't have hydraulics. So instead, they'd have like 6 stagehands pulling as fast as they could. And sometimes it would go totally wonky, or it wouldn't open properly, or they'd only get about halfway through. Oh, well, I guess that's it. There's only 2.
React to Spooky Scary Sunday 29. We might do that.
This is the vampire trap. And if I want to come back up again, this is called the sunroof trap. Very cool. Watch out for the closing doors on this one. It managed to trap Spider-Man's foot back into production in 2013. Me and the Green Goblin, we collabed on this one. All right, there's one more. The ghost glide. What you do is stand on this slidey bit, and it ascends diagonally, which makes it look like he's coming out of the ground. But the ladies are there yawning, they're going, ooh, short ghost. But then... 5 foot, 5'1", 5'2". All the ladies are turning their heads now. 5'3", 5'4", 5'5". All the ladies are loving it. Now, I bet you're wondering, what happens to the actors when they go down these traps? Are they dead and gone forever? Yes, sometimes. In 1888, Frederick Federici was playing the role of Mephistopheles in Faust at the Princess Theatre in
Who the heck is Mephistopheles?
Melbourne. As he descended the trap at the end of the play, goodbye everybody, goodbye. He had a heart attack and died, never seen again. So as you can imagine, with this many deaths, the theatre has become a highly haunted place. Oh yes. In fact, sometimes you can put your ear right up to the wall and you can hear 2 male ghosts wrestling. Can't fake that. Ah, another ghost hole.
That is insane. Chat, if you are in a public restroom and you decide to stick your pee-pee through that, you're done. You're sick. You're sick.
Don't look inside. I did once. Almost went blind. That's why I wear the mask.
Hold on. Went blind how exactly? Was it like a light shine or did you get poked in the eye, big dog?
Anyway, because of all the ghosts, the theatres do whatever they can to keep the spirits happy. See this? It's called a ghost light. When everything is closed, it is kept on always. Kept on for the ghosts, so that they don't bump their shins in the dark or whatever. At the Palace Theatre in London, there has been some ghostly activity.
It seems to be a bit of a hotspot for ghostly activities.
And that's why they always keep 2 empty seats at the back, so that the ghosts may sit there and watch the show.
So that's why we traditionally kept a couple of seats off sale for the ghosts. However, Harry Potter is so popular that we sell those seats now.
Oh.
2 seats?
Also, most theatres close for 1 day per week. And on those days, the ghosts are left to perform for each other in their own shows. Which they like, we think.
I was worried about my own vagina.
Oh, finally, the vagina monologues.
A culture of other vaginas.
You know, I wasn't always part of the elite. In fact, from a very young age, I grew up in an orphanage. No, my parents weren't dead. Rent in that building was just really cheap. But my parents showed me no affection. And as soon as they could, they sent me off to boarding.
You said what? Yes.
Hey guys, I just want to say happy Sunday. Be blessed. Be amazing. Make sure y'all subscribe to my man's channel. Bye.
Thank you.
School. But boards were always their passion, not mine. I tried to run away, but they caught me. And boy, did they throw the book at me. Alas, I did not dodge in time. I spent the next few years in a coma. A Native American town, Pueblo, Acoma. And the people there taught me...
Yo, this is low-key. If y'all ever watched or ever played Best Month Ever, when a kid, he got bit by a snake and woke up in the other world, this is what that is.
How to read American. They also had a local library, and I spent my days buried in books, learning as much as I could about the arts. And once someone noticed me buried under those books, and they rescued me. I knew I wanted to teach.
Yes, it is.
Default character presets like yourselves, all about Shakespeare. Editor's note: I started Googling Shakespeare and I got kind of distracted, so I don't know. Here's a WAV file. You can do something with this. Put him in like a classroom or something. All right, attention, everybody. I am your new teacher. You are a bunch of troubled inner city youths.
Okay.
All you know is shoot gun, fail test, and crime. But I'm here to teach you that actually books and reading and stuff are actually pretty epic after all. Now, the earliest known written language is what, Mr. Single
First known written language is, I have no idea.
Parent household. I don't know, teach, but you're never gonna get through to me. Oh, really? Well, what if I go back in time? Back in time. In the long, long ago, very few could read. But to be fair, most of the written...
I know those are not letters. There's no way those are letters.
...languages were kinda shit. This is cuneiform, the very first written language. And it has far too much punctuation. Then eventually came along the Egyptians, and they invented emojis, but they would call them hieroglyphs. Anyway, the typical written thing would go like this. Message for you, sir. Big bird, man with stick, man sitting, circle. Oh,
Ow.
More bills. Eventually that became quite annoying, so the Phoenicians, who were a kind of Lebanese, very progressive especially for those days, now, they came up with a better idea. They started going, hey, that sounds a bit like an A. Buh, that sounds a bit like a B. Kuh, and so on and so on, until we had a proto-form of the alphabet.
Okay.
Now, the Greeks thought that was pretty neato, but they said, let's come up with an even better version with 22 letters, and soon that will be like English. Oral history. Greeks more like geeks. Got 'em. Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you about something highly relatable. Of the surviving Greek works, the greatest hits were the Iliad and the Odyssey. Now, because most people couldn't read, this stuff wasn't written down for a very long time, and instead it was memorized and performed.
Yo, facts. Like the Book of Eli? Come on. Listen, I was really late to that movie, but I watched it. That boy memorized the whole book. Got there and wrote the whole thing.
And when they performed it, they used one of these, a lyre. Now, this was great for conveying tone, right? So here's a song.
Dante was good.
But then this is a big dramatic bit. Dun, 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 dun. Now, the Iliad starts with this guy, Menelaus, king of Sparta. And he has a wife, Helen. And she is a very fine lady.
Okay.
And then the Prince of Troy shows up. His name is Paris. And he goes, damn, shorty, awooga, awooga. Hey, that's what he'd say, right? And he and his boys abduct her and took her all the way back to his crib in Troy. Now this makes Menelaus quite miffed.
Hey, hold on there, Buster.
Boy about to put
He
together a whole
declares a
army.
turf war, but he can't win it alone, so he calls on his homies. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and Achilles, the best drive-by shooter of all time. But Achilles is not in the mood to fight, so the whole of the Iliad is basically spent trying to convince this guy to get involved.
Please?
No.
these?
No.
Eventually, they win the turf war by being very sneaky. They make a giant horse, which is the symbol of
Trojan
Troy,
horse.
and they leave it at the front gate. That's their way of saying, "Oh, I guess you win. We're walking away now." And meanwhile, thousands of soldiers go off and hide in some bushes. Now, the Trojans are very suspicious, but they can see that the Greek ships are actually sailing away into the horizon. So they know, oh, it must be real, must be real. We've won the many years war.
Bro, listen. If you're at war, if you're in conflict, just throw the gift away. If they would have never took the gift and said, yo, let's light this thing on fire, get rid of it. We don't even need it. We won. Of course we don't need this. They would have been all right.
But actually, there's almost no one on those ships, and there's a surprise inside the horse. Later that night, when everyone's asleep, boiling hot tzatziki everywhere. And also some soldiers wearing thermal protection. They get out and they open the gates, and then everyone comes out of the bushes, running into the city, and kill everybody. After they win the war, Odysseus heads back home to Ithaca. However, on his way, he starts making beef with Poseidon, god of the sea. And Poseidon is mad at the disrespect, so he sends Odysseus on a long-ass detour, and that detour is the story of the Odyssey. Pretty epic, right, kids?
Yo, explaining the origins of all of these stories is crazy.
It's fire. I'm starting to come around. That Odysseus guy is...
Now, if he break down the ending of One Piece, internet historian might, you know what I'm saying, be the GOAT YouTuber of all time. I ain't gonna lie.
Literally me. Yeah, I'm gonna try that horse trick on
Wes
my
was
ops. Homer, from Homer's Odyssey, is not a character in the story. He's the guy who tells the story, and then people wrote it down. Now, moving chronologically to the next big one, you've got the Bible.
Listen, I knew look, chat, listen, I knew where he was going. I didn't want to say it. I didn't. I knew it. I knew it. I seen it. That boy, hey, he's cooking right now.
And for all practical purposes, this was basically an oral tradition too. Most people were illiterate by this point, and the Bible was written in Latin, and pretty much only the clergy knew Latin, so they would be the one to recite it to people.
It's because, listen, if you watch my anime videos, you would know what I refer to One Piece. Listen, let me let him cook.
Says that the cute lady at the front should go on a date with me, please. Listen, the rules are the rules. I didn't say it, the book did.
There was a translated version into English, the Wycliffe's Bible, and you better believe that thing was a threat to the order. So they made that illegal to own. What? And if you were found with an unlicensed copy, the punishment would be death.
Crazy.
So it remained. The Bible was read to the people. Now, by the 1300s came Chaucer, who wrote the Canterbury Tales, and that was a pretty big deal.
Get this book now.
Because it's one of the first significant works written
though.
in Middle English. It describes a bunch of people...
I think we had to do like a book report on that in like 8th grade or something.
...making a pilgrimage from Southwark to Canterbury, which is here to here, which was the longest journey anyone had ever made in the 1300s. Now, it's a whole series of stories, and most of them can be boiled down to, how come if everyone is on a pilgrimage, you're all so focused on material stuff? Oh, hypocrites much? Dong. It's now the 1600s, and they've updated all the textbooks from Middle English to regular. In 1601, King James I said, all right, you know what? Let's everyone have a copy of the Bible they can read.
Hey!
Let's do a King James Bible. I won't feature in it, but I'd love to be in the title. And he commissioned a committee of scholars to rewrite the thing in English.
Yo, listen. We're cooking right now.
God's language.
Now I can't speak Spanish or anything.
It took 8 years. And that brings us to Shakespeare. And he's a huge deal. Oh, look, we're out of time. Oh, but sir, we're supposed to do penis inspection day today.
Whoa, what?
No, there's no time. Roll the end card. The end.
There's no way he's ending right here.
All right, that's the lesson. You watched the whole video. Or at least, you had it on in the background while you scrolled your phone. And I couldn't be prouder of you. there's just one more quick thing I want to tell you about. Theater props. For example, this gun. Now, the thing... Oh, look who it is.
Look, chat, I swear to God I was going to make... Listen, just talking about the Bible, swearing to God is crazy. But anyway, I promise you, when he was talking about people dying, I was going to make an Abraham Lincoln joke. But I was like, do I want to do that? You know, do I want to go there? First person fell off the theater. I was like, he's gonna make the joke about Abraham Lincoln. Hey, yo, you're done, buddy. You're done.
I know what you're thinking, but it's just an actor. We all know that the real Lincoln is dead. You know, when he fell asleep on the tracks of the Underground Railroad. Anyway, this thing is super realistic. Although the trigger is a little loose. Ruh-roh. Oh, I can't believe you did that.
Bro, chat, listen, I promise you, I was about to do it again. I promise you, I just watched the episode of Tokyo Ghoul that was just like this. Like, yo, it's a crazy world we live in, man.
But I won't tell anyone. And, in fact, good news. I'm gonna make you my little protege. And I will be your protege.
Protege.
And I got so many more lessons to teach.
Yo, dog, listen. Internet Historian gotta be the greatest YouTube channel ever, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't seen a banger generator like this. Like, yo, Mr. Beast, you're dope. You give away things, you know what I'm saying? Fire. As far as thought-provoking, look, to break this video down, like, when I watch the Internet Historian videos, I be feeling like, yo, how am I going to explain this to somebody who doesn't know? And this is like verbatim walking people up to the what was it? You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink, okay? This is the perfect way to explain stuff. He walked them right up to the water and said, now you can do with your conclusion of this video as you want. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. Hey, man. Hey, go buy your Bibles today. Get King James, you know what I'm saying? Greatest book ever wrote. Go get you one. Read it. You might learn some things.